Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Motorsport Manager, the Underdog Challenge, where we are taking Predator Racing Group all the way from the bottom to the top. And today I actually want to start a little bit different. As you can see, we are currently in 4th. We have about 100 points and are 22 behind first. And last episode, we got an interesting opportunity to actually sign a much better driver. By the name of, did I favorite him? No, I didn't. He's right here. I favorite him. Tulipano. He's really good. I mean, for European Racing Series standards, he has a lot of potential still to grow, going a little bit above 4 stars, as you can see. And most importantly, he has a marketability of 100%. He's not a pay driver or anything like that, so he does cost a lot more. He doesn't get the pay driver bonus, and on top of that, he costs per race about, I think, 800,000 or 900,000 for us. This is his old rating, I think, which he signed when he was a little bit worse. But I think he's very worth it because I have a plan, basically. All right, so what is that plan? I think if we do this well, and if we also get a little bit of luck, we can actually still promote in Season 3. That is one season ahead of my original plan, where we're going to take it a little bit more slow, a little bit more steady, and win the race that way. But, well, frankly, after 3 seasons almost now, I think it is time for us to outgrow this league. We don't exactly have the car for that. As you can see, we are not at the top of the league by any means, except for our brakes, where we're second. So we don't really have the car to do that. But when you promote, all of these parts anyway reset. It doesn't matter how good you get your car. Once you promote, your car parts reset to a certain value. And that value is about 8th average of the new league. So in case, for example, the 8th average of the new league is 500 points per part. And we got our car all the way to 1,000 points because we played for a very long time in the European Racing Series. It doesn't matter. That 1,000 will just get reset anyway back down to 500 or whatever else the actual average is at the 8th spot. So, that being said, for our car parts, it doesn't really matter. We have made one illegal part, which I think is a gearbox. So if we do promote, that's a bit of a waste, because we didn't need to make it, basically. But, well, by doing this plan anyway, we're going to be spending a lot of money just to promote. There's also some upsides. Once you're in the European Racing Series, you get a lot more money just by being there. On the other hand, by doing this strategy, we are going to be spending a lot more money than we are right now. The slow and steady turtle approach basically has you sign 2 not so great player drivers, but they barely cost anything. Actually, they are a net positive, as you can see. Coburn costs about 170 per race. Bjelland only 25,000. They each have a pay driver trait that adds about 270,000 per driver. So we're actually making a profit on just having them even. And on top of that, they also are, of course, are very marketable. But with their skills the way they are, they frankly just don't give us what we need in the races, especially Bjelland here. He just consistently does horrible. He is a bit sick, I think, at the moment, so that costs him a little bit as well. Yeah, he has that broken foot. Coburn, on the other hand, she does all right, but she also doesn't really have the stats where we need them. You know, a good adaptability is nice and all, but it doesn't beat having good braking, good cornering, good smoothness. And she just doesn't have that. So, what is the plan then, you ask? Alright, there's a few things we need to do in order to give ourselves an actual chance of still promoting in Season 3. And like I said, we do need a little bit of luck. If both our drivers crash out during a race, or the other team just does way better than us, or the rain comes in at the wrong time and we don't foresee it. All those things can go wrong, of course. It is motor racing. But I think even if we don't succeed this season, anyway, next season we're in a really good spot, especially if we have these new drivers. So what is the plan? First of all, we signed Tulipano this episode before the next race. That's important because we want to actually use him. He's going to be replacing Bjelland, who is a horrible driver. Second of all, we actually want to get rid of Coburn as well, but for the driver that we're going to get when our scouting facility in 5 weeks upgrades. So that's, I believe, in, I guess, 1 or 2 races. And then we're going to get a new driver who has a decent marketability, is a little bit better than Coburn, and has stats in the better places, let's say. She has all the stats in the wrong places, he has them in the right places. He is going to be more expensive, but there is actually a huge upside to getting him for this season specific. And that is that he has never raced in the European Racing Series this season. And that is a little bit of a cheesy strategy, but it is one that I think is very useful for people to know. It's not disallowed in the game or anything. There's no rules against it, so you can just do it. When you sign a new driver who hasn't yet raced in the European Racing Series, you might have noticed the same thing with Dior. When we made him go for a race, they start at the front of the pack because they don't have any points yet registered. And of course, the European Racing Series is determined, the starting grid is determined by who is in first goes last and who is in last goes first. So when we sign a new driver, he's going to get a few races for free, basically, where he is going to start at the starting grid as number one, which is really good for us, of course. That can get us some great results, especially if he's an actual good driver. Bjelland, of course, isn't, so he always gets to start first, but then he can't keep the lead, whereas this new driver would be able to. That can also get us a lot of points. We are currently quite close to the top teams, only 22 points behind Ruiz Motorsport. And on top of that, the very last race of the season also counts for double points. So if we can do well there, that also counts for a lot. So, that all being said, there is a lot of things then for us to do. A lot of money also to spend. I know last episode I said we're going to be basically saving our money a bit more, but I am going back on that. With our 5-star sponsors, we should be doing fine anyway for money. We can also, if we do promote, save a decent chunk of money on the new car. We don't really need to upgrade it because we're not going to be too competitive in the Asia Pacific. We would be more a little bit in survival mode, basically, just to survive for a season and then do better the next one and just work on our car. Because that is the other thing. I've had a look at the Asia Pacific Cup. They have actually changed their rules quite significantly from when we last checked, which was in Season 1. For example, there's no more spec part engine. They got rid of all spec parts. They do have semi-sequential pit stop. Driver aids are allowed, which is going to be decreasing the impact of driver skills. This doesn't really do much or do bad for us, to be honest. But we'll have to see how that goes. And yeah, there's just a lot of interesting rules, let's say, that we might want to try and change or not. We'll have to see if we're actually getting to the Asia Pacific. That is by no means guaranteed, but it will be interesting nonetheless. Yeah, okay. So, that all being said, are we going to actually push for the new season to be in the Asia Pacific? I think yes. Despite there being a lot of weird rules, I think it will be interesting to at least go there and yeah, make that push for the better league to be in. High merit payments, I just saw, actually is quite bad for us because we will be a bottom team. Yeah, the top teams are going to be rewarded at a greater rate than the small teams. That is what it is. I think anyway we can still do decently when we get there. But we are definitely going to be trying to change some rules if we do get there still. But that is for the future. Right now we have to focus on the now. And what is our actual plan? Well, first of all, like I said, we're going to be signing Tulipano because we need a better driver than Bjelland. So let's approach him. He is interested. And his status is fairly important, and he's fine with just getting an equal status, I believe. His wages are important to him, which sucks because then we need to offer him a lot. I think we're even going to do something like this. And he might not even be okay with that, to be honest, but we'll have to see. Once a short contract, we're going to give him a medium one, because if we don't make the promotion this season, he might not actually even want to re-sign with us for next season, because we would still be in the European Series. He might have gotten better to almost 4 stars, and then he would not, then he would feel too good for us, let's say. He doesn't mind who pays the buyout clause. It's almost 4 million, so we definitely want him to pay it all. He wants a nice signing on fee. That means something like this, probably. And bonus size is important. That's completely fine. We're going to give him a decent chunk of cash if he makes it. We'll have to see if he does. Let's offer him that and see what happens. Now, second of all, we are going to be replacing Coburn as well, but not yet, because our scouting facility isn't done yet, and that will be a key part of actually making this plan work. If in a few races we do notice that the strategy just isn't working for us, then we can always revert back to our old strategy, make some last ditch really illegal parts for next season and do completely fine next season, especially considering we'd actually have 2 good drivers. But for now, let's try this and see where we can get. All right. Then actually something that one of the commenters attended me to, which is quite important. Thank you, Doug. We can also change our current race mechanic, Tom Woodbridge, as he is pretty horrible. And there is actually quite a steal on the market of race mechanics, and that is Emilia Valente. She's not great in concentration, part fixes, and chemistry. Especially this one sucks a little bit, because that means there's going to be more mistakes. But to be honest, Tom Woodbridge is also just as bad as that. So she is still a straight upgrade. Let me find her back. And the main thing is that she is amazing at reliability and performance work, which means we can very quickly work on the reliability and performance of our cars. Especially performance and reliability are going to be necessary for the new parts that we will be creating in a bit. And she's decent at pit stops, which is always nice. Part fixes we really don't need, that doesn't matter. And chemistry, she has 2 traits that are, well, this one is kind of bad. Light-footed for hard tires doesn't matter at all, pretty much. It could matter maybe in the Formula 1, basically. I don't remember what it's called. World Motor Cup or something. Because there you don't have to refuel and you can just do a very long stint on your hards. But yeah, this one for us doesn't matter. We don't even use hards almost ever. This one, however, fuel economy. Fuel burns more slowly, allowing the driver to use a higher engine mode. Well, that's very interesting, of course, because fuel is always an issue for us. Ooh, sorry, I had a hiccup. Yeah, fuel is very interesting. And that being said, Tom's 2 traits are just not that interesting anymore to us. They're good at the start of the season, but after that they drop off very quickly once your car gets better. So I keep clicking away from her when I want to sign her. Sorry for that. Yeah, we're going to be approaching her. She is interested, and she is also rather cheap. So I think she says they're fairly important. That means let's try something like this. She wants a long contract. I don't mind obliging with that at all. She doesn't mind who paid the buyout. She can do that then. She wants a nice sign-on fee. Do something like that. Let's not haggle actually over the sign-on fee. And she doesn't care for a bonus. Perfect. All right. So that was the 3rd step in our short-term plan. And then the last thing is actually to make a new part, because we need better parts if we're going to make these cars sort of compete. Now, before, our strategy was, of course, to make these parts, well, good for the first 2 to use immediately, but after that, the 3rd and the 4th part were illegal parts, and so that they can be as good as possible and be used next season. Now, instead, we need to make some good parts that are also usable right now, which means actually we're going to be making another gearbox and work on their performance work as hard as we can, because the gearbox is really important. We're not going to be picking this because we don't have 5 days to spare. We are going to be picking this because for each million we spend, we get -2 days. We're going to be picking this because it's an immediate bonus. Same for this one, we don't really have another choice because we don't care for this. Oh, we could go for plus 50 acceleration on soft supers and ultras, but I think for now we'll just go for this. This is okay. Yeah, that's fine. And then we go for this one, which does take +4 days, but it also gives us +40 acceleration and some reliability, so we don't have to do that ourselves. And as you can see, now it takes 21 days to build this, otherwise it would be 25. It will be before the race done, but I don't think we'll be able to use it yet. Unless we really focus on the reliability, maybe we can make it work. Also with a new engineer. We'll have to see. Yeah, so this brake or gearbox won't be much better than we currently have right now, because what we currently have is something like 270. But once we upgrade it all the way to 370, it will be very usable. I am even actually considering using our illegal part that we made. And we just went into the minus, as it was quite expensive. We did make one good illegal part. If we were to crank that one up also to 380, we could consider using it for the races where the gearbox and acceleration is really important and sort of just take that risk. But for now, I don't feel comfortable doing that. Afterwards, once this gearbox is done, we're gonna be probably making some more brake sets to get us back to spot 1. As you can see, we're very close. So I think even one cheap brake would probably be good enough. We'll have to see. Alright, an interview. Dioras, the gearbox is holding us back. He needs to button it. That's fine. He doesn't like that, but whatever. Alright, and then let's keep going. Car repair finished. Great. And let's have a look then. What should we be working on? Our engine is pretty much at maximum. That's fine. We are going to be making some new parts, but those won't be done just yet. For a little while. We're probably going to be using that suspension, so let's start working on that too. And let's get it up to a usable level. Probably swap you around for a second. Yeah. Get all these parts to a usable level. This one I guess too. And make the front wing. And the brakes will do in a bit too. Alright, let's see what that does for us. Give you a little bit more. Okay, this is sort of so. Okay, in 10 days and we're pretty much done. Alright, good. And let's see also what our engineers and whatever else have for us. Hopefully they all accept immediately, but I doubt it somehow. Especially Tulipano. I think maybe the mechanic might immediately say yes, but we'll have to see. Yeah, okay, so that's exactly what I thought. We can actually sign Valente. She's going to be replacing Woodbridge. Goodbye, Woodbridge. I know we're going in minus again, but as always, that is completely fine. This should also now help a lot for our improving parts. Since she has an amazing skill in both reliability and performance. Not that it matters too much right now, as you can see, because we're very quick with completing this anyway. We will probably do this. Give you a little bit more stuff to work with. It's gonna take a while. Yeah, I do want to try and work this one up just because, while we have the time at least. Just because we might want to use it down the line. On the other hand, we don't read it right now. Let's wait for a little bit until this is done, and then we will... Yeah, okay. Then we'll focus fully on what we have. Alright, Tulipano, you are upset. Yeah, okay, so we just need to... I told you, like, I thought he really wanted the max one, to be honest. Fine. Let's try that then. Great. Valente has joined us. Perfect. Okay, our performance work is done. And Silva signed a new mechanic, Stafford, actually, who we tried to get a while back. Fine. And our staff is now idle. Okay. That means we can now just focus purely on this one. For now, I don't really care for any of these reliabilities. Well, we can do this. Do something like that. And keep on going. Alright, Tulipano, you should hopefully have accepted. There you go. And let's sign you up then. Sorry, Bjelland, you have raced your last race for us, basically. Doesn't cost much to break his contract, so that is very nice. Does cost us quite a bit to sign Tulipano, of course, and we are now at a sizable minus fee, but still no problem. Thank you, Tulipano. Bjelland, I am very sorry about firing you. You wanted to stay and win things. Well, let's be honest, buddy. Your stats are not that of a winning driver. We could have maybe voted in driver aids for you next season, but yeah. At some point you also just have to say enough is enough, and we are done with you for now, unfortunately. Alright, they pick up Batista, great for them. Tire wear level, don't care. Then the gearbox that we have just made. It would be nice to already immediately start using it. Can we, is the question. If we fully focus on the reliability, can we get it to a level that is acceptable? Let's try, at least. Financial management concerns, as always. Yeah, thank you. And let's also start designing a brake set, because those are quite cheap. And we'll probably do something like this. Just get the extra 5, I suppose. We'll have to work a little bit on them, but that is okay. All right, spend the money and keep going. Get a politics vote for normal width tires. Tulipano is doing... Ah, this is quite a bad trade for us right now, because he's already at 100% marketability. But he does lose 5 fitness. So that is a bit annoying. Fitness, I think, just impacts how well they keep driving while the race keeps going. So right now he's not as good anymore near the end of the race, which sucks, but it's also okay. Yeah, the second, this would add more slick tires, I think, but it also adds some pricing. I don't care. Sorry, had a quick cough there. Yeah, I just don't care. Hopefully we're not even here anymore, and yeah, it was approved, sure. Even if it was or wasn't approved, it doesn't matter much for us. When the time comes, it might give us an extra choice, which is always nice. 83%, that means it's probably good enough to be used. After the race, we'll start working both on the performance and on the reliability of this one. Something like this, maybe. Yeah, that's looking quite good. Okay. And we can actually give this better gearbox to one of our drivers, which is nice. And that driver is probably going to be Tulipano. As you can see, he starts in 9th, which is not 9th on the grid, basically. That's like 11th, I guess. Whereas Coburn is going to start in 16th. So, yeah, let's give that to... Let's actually give all the best car parts now to Tulipano, because he's the one that is going to hopefully get us some points this race. This doesn't matter. And let's give you the good suspension as well. Yeah, that should be okay. See what I did for our car rating. We're still in 7th for the acceleration, but we are climbing up a little bit. So I'm hoping to maybe make one more gearbox, or just use the illegal one down the line when we could use it maybe. We'll have to see. Suspension is looking alright too. So yeah, this is obviously not a prize-winning car, but I think with good drivers and good tactics, we can make it work. And then let's have a look. Ardennes, it will be 22 laps. Top speed will be crucial, which doesn't matter. Low speed corners will be crucial, which also don't matter. Again, a spec part. And then the acceleration will be useful. And that is where we are decent right now. Not amazing, but decent. Now, do I think we can get 3rd with our good driver? That is the question. It would be nice to get that 1.2 million, to be honest. That would net us a cool 3.4 million. However, this 600,000 does seem a bit more safe, let's say. You know what? Normally we always play it safe. Let's for once just play it not safe. Let's try and get 3rd. Why not? There's also some rain predicted on race day, so hopefully we can use that to our advantage. Plus 22 laps is quite a chaotic race. And that might also definitely be to our advantage. But let's see. Back in Belgium in the Ardennes. And a beautiful day on the practice day. Alright, as always, we take the drivers with the best feedback, which is actually not Coburn anymore. Now it will be Tulipano by 1 point and Dior. And since we have a 22 lap race, we will probably go for the super softs actually. Because, well, those should be able to easily last for 22 laps on 3 stints. And same for you, I guess. Yeah. Not sure if Coburn will be able to make them last, but we'll have to see. Yeah. Okay. Let's do our usual strategy. Put everything in the corners. Something like this. Should be okay. Alright. Same for you. Everything in the corners. And then we get you out there racing. Very curious to see how Tulipano is going to do. It will be nice to have a driver who can actually drive in that seat instead of Bjelland. Dior always did pretty well, even though he's not an amazing driver by any means, but he's a lot better than Bjelland. So I'm hoping that with a much better driver like Tulipano, we can actually really make a dent in that point gap and try and fight back for 1st place. Okay, that was not a great first run. 39% is very bad actually. We are good though, so let's try something like this. You are just going to go straight to the other side, and same for you. Let's see if we're a little bit closer there. Right back out. And then on okay. Good, I think, was the other one. Okay, good, and very poor. Okay. So we know we're close on this one. Maybe something like this. With you, we're already at good, so let's not go too far. Maybe something like that. And you need to go way the other side. Put you like that. Alright. Out and in. And see what we did. Yeah, I'm very excited actually about this new strategy. Once we at Tulipano was obviously a bit of a lucky get. We didn't expect to get him at all. We got an interview question, buttered him up, and then we actually got a chance to sign a much better driver than we usually get. So yeah, that was very nice. Curious to see what we can do with him. And I think it's also really fun to show sort of an alternative strategy and really try and force ourselves into the championship picture, despite maybe not really having the car to do so. So yeah, curious to see how we can do. Do something like here maybe? You don't need to be that far, let's say. Something like that should be good, hopefully. Get back out there. You are actually excellent, 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 which is very nice. 99% in 2 tries. Alright. Well, I guess you're gonna just be getting all the experience for us that you can, or the knowledge. Whereas Tulipano needs to come in one more time. Let's see then. Excellent, good, excellent, perfect. That means you can also now go out for your last stint. Yeah, so I'm very curious to show off how this strategy is gonna work. Maybe it's not gonna work at all, but I've thought about it for quite a while actually, in between episodes, how we can maybe make it work. I think with better drivers we stand a much better chance of getting very good results, and especially that little sort of cheesy way of yeah, using a driver that hasn't driven in the European Racing Series before, I think can be very interesting to show at the very least. And now you can get a lot of points sort of for free. Shame we didn't get to level 3. Alright, well, it is what it is. So yeah, at the very least I'm excited to show that off. We're going to be spending quite a lot of resources just in getting there. And we're going to try and give ourselves the best chance we can. If that doesn't work out, then it's not the end of the world. Next season we'll for sure pretty much promote. I don't think there's much risk of not being able to at all. Especially once we have good drivers and a car that is like, let's say, top 4 or something. But hopefully we can do it this season. That would be very nice to show off and see. It is raining, but honestly not to a level where I feel comfortable going on intermediate. None of what we see actually has the wetness level, let's say, of the intermediate being better, as you can see. I think I would much rather just go on the super soft. And if we really need to, we can come back in. Yeah, I don't think there's any point in going on inters. Unless like it really were to ramp up near the end, but it doesn't seem to be doing that at all. So let's start on supers. The game even seems to agree with us for once, so let's try for that. Let's always start both of our drivers on red and see where we get. And yeah, Tulipano starting in 12th actually, not 11th. And Coburn in 17th, not 16th. Because I don't know how to do math. Alright. See how we start. Yeah, no one else is starting on wets either, so that made a lot of sense. Alright, a decent start for both our drivers. No one gained or lost anything, but Tulipano is flying through the competition here, gaining 2 spots immediately. Coburn gets 1 of her own. The temperature is quite hot, so we do need to be keeping an eye on this hotness meter. The water level might help with that. I'm not sure actually if it does, but yeah, the heat does seem to be going up rather quickly, so we cannot be pushing for too hard for too long. I think we will probably pull back Coburn already relatively soon. That soon might even be now. Well, she's still fighting, so let's wait for a little bit, but it will be soon, let's say. Yeah, let's do it now. Don't want her to go up too hard. Sorry, another quick little cough. Yeah, and even for you now, I want to pull back your tires. So let's do something like this. Actually, I'm curious. You can last for 9 to 11. How long can you last for? 10 to 12. Ooh. And it is a bit unfortunate to push Tulipano harder than Coburn, because then their tires are pretty much going to balance out exactly. We don't really want to do that, actually. So then we would rather do something like this, maybe. Burn her fuel harder. Yeah, that doesn't give Tulipano maybe the race result that we want, but I think this would be better. That does suck for our sponsor objective as well, but yeah. I think this is kind of what we have to do. Let's make his fuel and tire last a bit longer. And then Coburn can push a little bit harder and burn a little bit more fuel. Rain seems to be leveling out. Yeah, still just not at a level where we need inters, to be honest. So perfectly fine with staying on the slicks. Tulipano is now losing a few spots due to pulling him back a little bit. That is a shame. But it is what it is. Yeah, these tire levels are just going up very quickly because of the heat. 26 degrees. And we do actually need to pull back the tires a little bit. This is a shame. Rather not be doing this, obviously, but yeah, with our horrible tire heating, we just have to be honest. Looks like the water level is leveling out. That's perfect. Let's pull it now back to at least a yellow. Once we cross the finish line, we'll have a look at how many laps we want to be doing. We could do 5 more with Tulipano, and that should also work for his tires. And 4 more, I guess, with you then. Yeah, fair enough. And yeah, no rain. It's just gonna dry up. Perfect. Alright, Tulipano very much still in a fight. Just took over Tomberg. Very nice. If you can find anyone else, that would be nice. That's good to get past Van Anen. Very nice for you. At the very least, like, by not pushing our tires too hard, we get to keep them sort of healthy, which means they don't drop off so quickly. And keep them a bit in the fight, give them that little bit of extra speed. So that's not too bad. He's fighting Sabato right now. And Liao, apparently. Okay. Oh yeah, Liao just flew by us or something? Don't know what happened there. Okay. Hey, sorry. Tire temperature, get it back down. Same for you. Can't have that be all the way at the top, to be honest. Looks like no one else is really struggling with the same as us. Everyone is pushing their tires to the maximum always, but... well, half-half. Some are just bringing down the temperature as hard as they can, whereas others are pushing them as hard as they can, so that is interesting, let's say. About halfway in there. Yeah, there you go. Keep on just keeping the tires just about as they should be in terms of heat. Yeah, most other people are really burning through their tires a lot quicker than us, so let's push them back to yellow now. You need to keep them a little bit like that. Okay, well, let's try to pull back a little bit. 2 more laps for you, 3 more for you. Yeah, should be okay. That does mean we need to start pulling you now back to about orange. And you're fine, kind of over here. Soon we can just eat the heat up, to be honest. But for now I want to sort of level it out against the heat, just so we don't hit those lower bandwidths with the tire wear going down too hard. Also remember, these are super soft, so they start dropping off really hard at 15%, so that's why I'm trying to conserve them a little bit. We don't want to get close to that level when we hit, or at least we don't want to go over that level when we pit. But now with only 2 laps to go, I think it's perfectly fine to start just chunking through these tires. First pit stop. Water is pretty much completely leveling out, so just going for the usual. And take a fast pit stop as always. Yeah, at this point they can just go through the tire as much as they can, just start really chunking through it. Looks like no one pitted yet, but Tulipano is in 5th, so he's doing rather well for himself. And I think we can now also start thinking of putting your tire up on blast a little bit longer. I think that's the strength of this. Like, they're already in their lower bandwidths, where their tires are starting to really hurt them, whereas Tulipano is still going to be able to do almost a full lap in the upper or middle bandwidth, let's say, because we conserved our tire a little bit better in terms of heat. Coburn's is now in the lower bandwidth, and she's probably going to hit the slope soon, but not before she pits, so that is completely fine. And looks like we are one of the last ones to stay out the longest, except for these two, which is perfectly fine. Alright, Coburn coming in for her first pit stop. Front jack going well, wheels went well, refueling looking to be fine, and perfect. Alright. Then next up is Tulipano. Ooh, looks like it might start raining again a little bit over there. That is around lap 12. Maybe 13. Okay, well, we'll have to keep an eye on that for the next stint, but for this stint we definitely just need to go on slicks. Just perfectly fine. And get you in there. Now really just start wearing through that tire. Now he's just about hit the lower bandwidth anyway. Try and get a little bit more time out of them if possible. Oh, don't be doing that though. Don't make your tire temperature go up too much, please. That is not what we want from that. Let's see, how many laps do we have left before that rain is gonna start coming in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or so. Yeah, something like that. Okay, well, we'll have to see. But we also don't know what the rain is really going to do. If it again sort of levels out weirdly like this, then we're obviously not going to do anything. Zapado crashed. Okay, interesting, but only a yellow flag, so no overtaking in sector 2. That doesn't really matter for us at all. Tulipano went into the pits right about with no fuel and no more tire, so that is perfect. Let's see how quick it goes. Wow, no, come on. That was a costly mistake on the right front. Oh no, come on. 7-second pit stop. Come on guys, what are you doing? Alright. Well, that sucks. That is definitely going to be costing Tulipano here a lot of time, and he was doing great. Yeah, now he's closer to Coburn, actually. Oh, Coburn overtook him just about there. Yeah, that just sucked, to be honest, but it is what it is. I think the people that are currently in first on the team championship, let's say, are Kumar and Sozev. Yeah, you two. So we are very close to them at least, which is good. I don't know the other team. I only know the team that is in first. I don't know the team that is in, say, second or third. Yeah, we'll have to see. Okay, you have to keep your tires down a little bit in terms of heating, so let's also bring Tulipanos down. Ooh, okay, that is proper rain, so that means we need to start really burning through everything we have. Maybe even our tire, to be honest. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 laps left before the real rain starts coming in, and then we could potentially stagger our... Yeah, that's going to be lap 11, that one is 12, that one is 13, so we should be able to make it work by coming in during lap 13, I suppose. Wait, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22? No. Okay, then we have 10 laps to go, so we would have to... yeah, we would have to do the entire rest of the stint on low engine mode. If we can even sit it out with the rain. We have no clue how long the rain is going to last. So we might have to bring our first driver in during lap 14. And then the second one during 15. So that's not ideal. But I'm not sure if driving on blue engine mode is the preferred solution there, to be honest. We'll have to see. Brought down your heating there a little bit. So that's not too bad. still, despite the mistake, it didn't look like we did too bad, I must say. 6th and 7th. Obviously, Tulipano should be somewhere around 3rd with that 7-second mistake, but... Well, let's not be too upset about this right now. And yeah, like I said, let's just burn through as much fuel as we can. Let's also start tearing through that tire when we have to. We can wait for a little while longer. Kind of keep those temperatures down a little bit and keep going. Alright. Give them a little bit more again. Yeah, these temperatures are just killing us, to be honest. 25 degrees, 26 degrees. Does look like the rain is gonna keep going to intermediate level. Doesn't seem to be ramping up at least to a level where the wet would be preferred. That is interesting. We have 1, 2, 3 laps left minimum before we really need to bring our first person in. That should probably be Coburn. That means also we can probably start to just destroy our tires a little bit with both of you. And let's keep going. Yes, I know you're really working through those tires, let's say. That's okay. It's what we do. Alright, rain is coming in now. Does appear like we would just kind of want to end on inters. So obviously I don't know how it's going to end over there. Let's... You're going very quick. Let's wait one more little lap. Because if we were to bring you in now, there would be 9 laps remaining actually. Wait, what? Did I miscount? I think I miscounted. Okay, that actually means, yeah, we're gonna be bringing you in now, so just destroy everything you have. Destroy the tire, destroy everything. 9 laps is perfectly fine. I'm gonna go on the intermediates. It looks like, yeah, more rain still. Gonna give you all the fuel you can have. No parts need fixing. Go on fast. Alright. And Tulipano also just... Since you only have 2 laps left. Oh, another crash. Cavalcanti. No clue if Sabato and Cavalcanti are rivals of us, let's say. So we'll have to... Oh, another crash. El Sadat. Jeez. Oh, safety car. Okay, so a lot just happened in the span of 5 seconds. El Sadat and Cavalcanti crashed. The second crash here of El Sadat was in an unfortunate place. Yeah, I can see that. So that means a safety car is coming out. That is pretty much a free pit stop for us, but we cannot really afford to bring in both at the same time. That's going to be very slow. And they're right behind each other. Ooh. I don't know what's better, to be honest, in this situation. Whether we want to pit both at the same time and eat the loss, let's say, on Tulipano, or do we want to wait an entire round and then pit him? And then bring him in. I think either way, he just loses all his racing position, to be honest. I'm not sure. What's better? I guess if we wait one more lap, he does get the fuel up. And he gets to use more fuel later. But yeah, this crash is really unfortunate timing. Do we bring you both in? Is the question. We can, of course, but... It is a 9-second. I think we just do it, I guess, but I'm not happy about it. But we're going to be doing an entire round on slow, then everyone is going to catch up to the safety car. Yeah, I think we just have to do it. That is very annoying though. We have 1 lap left, so it's gonna do 1, 2. Everyone is pitting, of course. Well, not everyone. We cancel it or not? I'm not sure. I'm really doubting, actually. I think either way, he just loses all of his track position, regardless of what we do. This is just really horrific timing, actually, for one of our drivers. I guess we could... Gonna go 1 lap, 2 lap, and then go into the garage. But we're gonna have to follow him all the way here. So I guess we do get to catch up with the safety car, so actually I think we just do this. Yeah, I know, sorry. And now you pit next time. Which sucks, obviously, but I think that is the way to do it. Because he's gonna have to wait all the while behind Coburn. That just sucks, to be honest. There's no point. And at least he's gonna get to catch up onto the safety car first, so... Put you on blue. You, it doesn't matter, honestly. No, obviously you're not gonna come into the pits, are you dumb? Yeah, now they're gonna be really slow, so... Yeah, he's gonna lose all his track position, basically. But at least there's some people behind him who also still need to pit, I think. And either way, he was gonna lose that track position. Now at least we get some fuel to play with. More than, let's say, Coburn has. Oh, he got hit still, actually. He kind of bonked a lot of people over there. So I think we made a fine choice now. Because there's still 4 people that haven't pitted, who are making a horrible mistake. And we're still in 8. How? Wait, you got out ahead of Coburn? What the... Alright, well, at least we made a fine choice then. I can honestly say in playing this game a lot, with a lot of hours, I haven't seen this exact circumstance where I really had to pit, basically. With the water coming in like that, like not having a choice at all. And then our drivers being literally 2 seconds away from each other. So that was unfortunate. Let's not hurt your temperature too much. Alright, well, if it works, it works. I'm happy. This was just a very weird, forceful situation where it was basically like, you have to pit now, and you don't get a choice whatsoever because of the rain on how to approach it. But the safety car is gonna leave just about now, probably. So let's start putting you on red and red. Or at least the start of the race. We have, what is it? 6 laps left, probably, when we regain. No, wait, that's wrong. 7. It's 7 now, plus 1 is 8. But we're gonna finish the... Going over the finish soon, yeah. So 7, that means we can do red on Tulipano for pretty much the end of the race. Probably not for Coburn. And yeah, it looks like the rain will finish out for the rest of the race. Perfect. Alright, let's see what we can do. Both our drivers flying through the people here, especially the people on soft, the slick people, obviously. We're just bashing through them. Yeah, our temperature is again going up very quick, but these tires do last for an incredibly long time, and we only need to make them last for about 7 laps, so that is good. Now let's have a look where our rivals are. Sozev is in 3rd. Kumar is in 11th. Okay, so that will be interesting, but for now, that is all fine. Heard something from the engine. 38% isn't great, but with only 6 laps left soon, that isn't per se a problem, let's say. You need to bring back your engines or your tires a little bit. With 6 laps left, we kind of just have to run you out on orange now. So you are going to get a lot less to work with, Coburn, but Tulipano can fight for quite a while longer. 6 laps remaining. Pearl ran wide. Don't know where you are. Oh, 13th. Okay, that doesn't matter. We can run at least 3 laps on red if we need to. For now, I want to keep fighting because we're, yeah, basically in a spot where we really need to. But we need to push also Tulipano back soon-ish. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, some people chose really poorly when they pitted. At the very least, we didn't do that. Regardless of what you think about how we pitted, right? Coburn is having a lot of trouble now. Start bringing you up a little bit again on your tire. And we start bringing you back. I'm gonna do a little bit more of red, but maybe not for too long. Oh yeah, everyone else is also pretty much running the same thing. Have to bring you back a little again. Oh, actually, with 5 laps remaining, we could just start eating the heat, to be honest. Doesn't really matter that much. Do need to bring you back on the fuel now soon. Hopefully we can use it again later. Yeah, I know. Your tire temperatures are going to be incredibly high, but what is it now? 4 laps left soon. Isn't the end of the world. Come on, Tulipano, fight him off. Would be very nice if we could push for that sponsor objective, but right now I don't see it happening with the tire life and fuel that we have. I think the crash really just kind of messed up our strategy. I think we could have maybe forced the AI to do a little bit worse there. But because of the restart, everyone was so closely together again. That just made it a little bit harder for us, I think. But who knows anyway. Coburn overtook someone. Great, good for you. We're at 70th percentile still with each of them. With only 4 laps left, that should be perfectly fine. I don't want to put them on red just yet. I don't want them to destroy their tires too hard, but this seems perfectly fine for now. Yeah, our rivals are gonna run away a little bit from us though. Kumar and Sozev are in better spots than Tulipano and Coburn. So yeah, that sucks a little bit, but also we do have to work with what we have, and that is currently just not a very good part, for example. In terms of cars, we're trying to remedy that quickly, and then also, of course, signing that new driver. That will be sort of our ace up our sleeve, hopefully. But we'll have to see. 2 laps left soon. I think that is probably our cue to just sort of start turning through the tires. Okay. Do have enough fuel to let's do like another lap of hard burning. For you, we just have to stay on orange. And go just really quickly here. Alright, last lap. Do have to pull it back now a bit. To orange, let's say. And for you, sort of same. We might have to pull back to medium soon. For both of you. There you go. Okay, that was a good push though. A little bit of a gap all of a sudden there. I don't know what happened. Oh, Comberg ran out of fuel, or whoever this was also ran out of fuel. Okay, interesting. We are both on excess fuel. We're destroying our tires, but that is completely fine for these. Coburn overtook everyone here, actually. All of these people seem to have run out of fuel or some other issue. Can't be their tires at least, so. No, where's Kumar? Went to 9th. Oh, that would be very good for us. Alright, well, let's see. Doing great, doing great. Don't think we will be able to catch up to 3rd anymore. No. Yeah, we could go overtake for the last little bit, but that didn't matter so much, I think. Alright, well, 4th and 5th. Sozev got 2nd, but Kumar got 7th, so that means actually it's a bit of a wash, I think. Probably means we did just about equal in terms of points. And that is not bad at all, especially since we don't have our secret weapon yet, which hopefully comes next episode, but maybe the one after. I'm not sure. When we have our scouting facility at the very least. But yeah, not bad at all. I think that was a decent race for us. Tulipano immediately shows why we wanted him, because he's just much better than Bieland. Bieland would have been somewhere in 16th, most likely. So not bad. I think we ran that race just about as well as we could have. We had a bit of a struggle there with deciding when we're going to do our last pit stop. I think it worked out completely fine in the end. Yeah, we didn't have to sacrifice anyone. It was definitely... Don't make your drivers pit behind each other. I think that's just really bad. At the very least, now they could catch up to the car and then pit instead of the other way around. So I think that went completely fine. 17 and 16 points. Kumar got 14. Those have got 19, so yeah, that's pretty much just a wash. Not bad then. Tulipano did go up quite a bit. Coburn went to 3rd. Not bad. And we are now still 22 points behind Ruiz Motorsport, but we got a lot closer, I think, to Ozu and Vexala. So we are climbing up the ranks, but that doesn't matter. We need to overtake the people in first. But there's a long season still left, and we have some secret tricks, let's say, that we can pull on the enemy. So not too unhappy about this. So far, yeah, we kept them on the same pace as us, but we are going to be getting some better parts very soon, and also a new driver, and I hope that we'll be able to really start taking the fight to them then. At least for now, we have a nice new driver. It is going to be a lot more expensive, but that is not the end of the world. Unfortunately, we couldn't get our third spot. That was a shame. We did risk it. I could have maybe... It would have been better to take the 6th or 7th place sponsor objectives that we could have gotten, but yeah. We were so close, I think it was worth trying, let's say. We got... with our 4th finish, we got so close that that was definitely worth a shot, I think. Anyway, we're going to be getting some sponsor offers. As you can see, we have 2 race bonus ones open and 1 of these really good ones. Hopefully we'll get a good one in the slot. And then we'll see what happens. Alright, I think for now, yeah, we had an eventful episode. We did a good race. Brought up a completely new strategy that I hope will work out. If not, then anyway, we were going to do a 4th season anyway. But if it does work out, I think we have a spectacular season ahead where we can really try and take it to the champions, despite maybe not having the resources to do so. So let's see. Anyway, let me know what you think of this new strategy. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. And thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.